One of the most crucial and important positions in pro clubs is the attacking midfielder position. No matter if you're playing casual with your friends or you're playing 11v11 competitive pro clubs, that position is your focus point of your attack. So today, on this video, we're going to bring you guys a new episode on the How to Be a Better Player series, and this one's going to be for the attacking midfielders. Again, this could be for a lamb, a ram, or a center attacking midfielder. So of course, if you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to smash the thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe for more FIFA 19 Pro Clubs content in the future, and let's jump in right into this video. Like I said in my previous video, there is no such thing as being a perfect player in pro clubs, especially as an attacking midfielder. You're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna, mess up a pass. You're gonna over dribble sometimes. Sometimes you're gonna take a shot and miss it, and your teammates might yell at you, be like, "Why did you pass that?" That just happens. Everybody makes a mistake. The biggest thing you should do is try to minimize your mistake and don't make the same mistake over and over again. If you make a mistake, just kind of think about it, keep it in the back of your head, and try to not make that same mistake again. The other thing is, on FIFA 19, as you guys know, if you play casual pro clubs and you're an attacking midfielder, you know that the cam position is glitched with the outer position. Outer position is when you hold L1 or on PS4 or LB on Xbox. I don't know what it is for PC, whatever the outer position button is. If you do hold that while you were playing a cam position, a cam formation like the 4-1-2-1-2 formation, you're gonna be pretty much be forced to play left back. I don't know what it is. EA was supposed to patch this, and I get a lot of comments on my YouTube videos. How do I prevent that from happening? The way you can prevent that from happening is using your radar and positioning yourself with L2. Try to manually position yourself. Try to think about where you should be on the field, where the ball is, based on where the ball is, and position yourself with L2. If you don't want your rating to go down and have so many out of position because you're holding L1, hold L2 and auto position yourself manually. It's going to take some practice, but you can do it, and that will fix your rating a little bit, but EA needs to fix that massively and quickly as possible. They have said they've patched it, but they didn't. But right off the bat, guys, as I said before, again on the striker, how to be a better striker, if you want to be a good attacking midfielder, you need to make sure you're playing a play style that fits yourself. I know I have a lot of videos on the channel, best builds to play in pro clubs, and I tell you guys all the time, I can put a best build out, but it might not fit for you. So play a build that is going to fit your play style. If you want to be quick, if you're going to be running a lot, then try to play with a shorter build. If you're going to be, holding up play a lot more as a camp, then play with the taller build. Maybe you want to go with 6-foot build instead of 5'10 build. Maybe you want to go with the 5'8 build. Try to play with the play style that is going to suit yourself, your play style, but then also think about the team. If you have two strikers that are really tall, most of the time they're probably going to be strikers that are going to show up for the ball a lot more. So maybe you want to play with a shorter striker, or with a shorter cam, or attacking midfielder. Maybe you have two strikers that are really short and they're going to be running a lot more. Then maybe you want to play more through balls. Maybe you want to look to kind of connect those passes a little bit better. So we're going to give you guys tips from community members that have played pro clubs, but that again is the biggest thing I can tell you is make sure you play your play style. That's very important. Also, if you are if you're trying to level up and you don't know how to level up or how the level up system works, make sure you guys check out the video on how XP system explained or how to level up fast. Pretty much all you got to do is play a lot of games. Make sure you're using your traits in your primary ones first. So as an attacking midfielder, obviously your passing, your dribbling is very important, but also your shooting is very important. So on the screen, as you guys can see what are your primary attributes. That's where you want to put your trait in to kind of help you out a lot. If you're a casual player trying to get into competitive, you want to get this stuff sorted out before you get into there, because when you get to competitive, you're going to see the elites play really well on a high level. So not having the right build, not having the right trait is not going to help you as much as it should. Now, I'm going to give you guys tips from community members that play competitive 11v11 with myself, or I have played with them or against them, that I know they're really good attacking midfielders, and they're going to help you guys out a lot. First off is going to be Jesby. Jesby is a cam for Fatal 11. I played with Jesby at Fatal 11 for 11v11 competitive in VPN, which is Virtual Pro Network. Pretty much is the 11v11 competitive pro clubs league in North America. And Jesby has been one of the best cams, or one of the best attacking midfielder for many years, many seasons, you can say, or even years, and many FIFAs. And he did say that obviously as a cam, you gotta play simple. A lot of the times you will have opportunities to create and be, more fancy with the ball. If you know how to do skill moves, do skill moves, but don't do too many skill moves. Don't try to do too much with the ball. Play simple, and a lot of times practice with your cam position. Practice as much as you can. Practice is going to eventually help you a lot more. He also said if you play 11v11 competitive, try to rewatch the live stream over again and see what mistake you made and where you can go and try to fix that a little bit. Another player that shares some tips for you guys that play casual or even 11v11 competitive is NU17 from Never Unlucky. Obviously, and Never Unlucky also plays in VPN. Make sure you guys check out their stream over on Twitch. They do stream all their games, so if you guys want to see some high-level Pro Clubs gameplay, you guys can check that out, of course. But he said positioning is huge. You need to know how to rotate with every player around you. Knowing when to play fast and when to slow it down is a must. Also, knowing how people around you like to play affect your gameplay. Obviously, he is talking about if you have a striker that likes to make runs, you need to fill in a lot more. If you have two strikers that try to show up a lot more, then you need to make runs and open up space. That's pretty much the tip he gives you guys for those that play cam. A lot of people that play casual, I know that when they play in cam, they don't really understand how their attacking players are playing, their forwards. If the forwards are making runs, what they should doing. If the forwards are not making runs, what they should doing. A lot of the things in Pro Clubs is about ball movement, but at the same time, sometimes you want to slow down the play as a cam. Another player that also plays attacking midfielder and that shares some tips is RBZ the God. Shout out to him for sharing some tips. He said, make sure you are not sprinting all over the place. You are the glue of the team. You are the player that holds their midfield and the attack going forward. And then number 2, he said, make sure you're giving an option to every single player in the midfield attacking. You could probably combine that into point 1 if you into the 1 if you wanted. You always want to link up with your teammates, making sure you guys are always given a simple options, helping elevate your team in further success going forward. It's pretty much pointing in the fact that you should always be trying to show for your pass. If the left, let's say you're playing a formation that has a left mid, right mid, you should be trying to pull as closer to that left mid to try to get that ball and trying to move it up. And same thing, if the ball's on the right side, you kind of want to shift with that, with the team, with your team, and kind of get that ball there and then kind of push it up. And he also pointed out that you need to understand that you will be put in situations which aren't pretty, and you have to be ready to move the ball. So think one step ahead before you even get the ball, so you don't cause turnovers. And if you have to pass the ball backwards, then go for it. That way you don't lose possession and your team keeps the ball, and you can move it forward and create more opportunity for your teammates. The last player to share some tips for you guys is Mo7. He plays attacking midfielder for Prolific Football in VPN. Mo7 is considered one of the best attacking midfielder in Pro Clubs in North America, especially. He has won a lot in VPN, and a lot of people know who he is. Obviously, if you don't know, get to know. Shout out to Mo7 for sharing this. Appreciate you, bro. Thank you. But he wanted to share 3 tips for you guys, so I'm going to give you guys these 2 tips, and then we're going to move on for some more tips. But he said, tip number 1, body position is everything when you're trying to pass. I know it may sound cliche, but I see many players trying to play a through ball when their Vitro Pro isn't even facing the same direction. 99% of the times, this will result in a bad pass or a turnover. Now, I know what he's saying because a lot of times, even as a striker, I do it. So that's a tip for any position, obviously. But as a cam, obviously, you don't want to do that. Tip number 2, he says, always want the ball show up as an option for midfielders and strikers to link up. Positioning wise, to find open space, don't rush pass forward and try to play the hero pass. You don't want to always be playing the hero passes, which we're trying to explain. Try to think what the play I can make for the team to advance forward. So a lot of the times, you might not have the opportunities to put a tool ball for a striker, or you might see it there, but the second you do it, there's an interception. So try to calm down. Sometimes you want to calm down the play, and then sometimes you want to rush it forward, obviously, but don't do it all the time. Don't try to be the hero, is what he's trying to explain. Number 3, he said, don't get discouraged. Cam is the hardest position, in my opinion, this FIFA, with how the mechanics of the game and structured on how teams can stack the player in the middle of the park. So obviously, the last tip is mainly like a lot of teams in competitive 11v11 stack a lot of players in the middle of the park. A lot of teams will play park the bus. So sometimes you're gonna be patient and try to go back and try to build up play. A lot of cams in Pro Club, especially in 11v11, they get really discouraged in the middle, especially with the passing mechanism, with the cam glitch. There's a lot of issues going on with the cam, and I wish EA made it easier for people to play attacking midfielder. But that is it for tips from those players: Jesby, BZ the God, Mo7, and NU Dust 17. Thank you guys so much for sharing the tips. Really, really appreciate it. We're going to be doing more of stuff like that. We're going to be asking the community members that play in a really high level position, especially for this series, to kind of give you guys tips. If you guys have any tips you guys want to share that I didn't touch upon, make sure you guys put them in the comment section below. Sharing is caring. But obviously, as a striker, when I'm playing with an attacking midfielder, I always want to connect with that person. You know, if I'm playing with another striker that makes run all the time, I always want to show up. So if you play striker, try to help your cam out a little bit. Don't play two striker. If you play two striker, don't try to always run forward. That's one of the things that strikers have to do. But at the same time, as a cam, that's something that sometimes you have to communicate with your striker. If you have two strikers, try to communicate to one of them to always show up short, and the other one can make runs, and they can pretty much switch it back and forth. But you always want to have someone showing up as a striker, especially if you're playing two strikers. If you're not playing two strikers and you're playing one striker, that's a little bit more different. But a lot of that comes down to communication. So communicating with your teammates as midfielders and also communicating with the forwards is going to be important. But again, use the radar as much as possible as a attacking midfielder to give you more space. So if you're being under pressure and you can't see many pass, maybe you have to switch play, or maybe you have to go to a pass all the way to your center back or something like that. So maybe that's something you need to do. So practicing is very important. Again, like I said, Jesby also touched upon on this. Watch your replay of your games. If you play casual, you can just press share on the PlayStation. You can save your video and kind of see what mistakes you did that you can fix. If you play competitive 11v11, that's even better because you can see what mistakes you made that you could have probably fixed and probably giving you an opportunity to score offensively. But that is it for this video, guys. If you guys enjoy it, don't forget to smash the thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe for more FIFA 19 and Pro Clubs content in the future. And I will see you guys on the next video. Peace.